August 3rd, 1956. At the 25th Street Gansevoort incinerator in New York City, Dr. Wilhelm Reich's friends and colleagues stand speechless, as over 6 tons of the scientist's books, journals, and papers are set to fire before their very eyes. Today, this event is frequently cited as one of the worst instances of censorship in U.S. history. Yet at the time, the monstrous act of government suppression didn't even make the papers. So what were in these documents? Were they the lunatic ramblings of a scientist gone mad? Or did they hold the secret designs of a device so revolutionary it could forever solve the Holy Grail of science, creating 100% free energy, running in perpetuity, and freeing the masses from one of the most powerful conglomerates in the world? When Dr. Reich died mysteriously in prison 1 year after the burning, a decade after the Food and Drug Administration, you didn't read that wrong, the FDA, launched a witch hunt to destroy his energy generation devices, and just 3 days before he was scheduled for a parole hearing, which may very well have set him free, it appeared as though this question would never be answered. And for over 5 decades, it wasn't. But now, for the first time, new evidence has surfaced about Dr. Wilhelm Reich's most secret project, proving once and for all that generating free energy, enough to power a home, and simple enough to be made on your kitchen table, is as easy as a trip to your local hardware store. And in this brief presentation, that will without a doubt be censored as soon as the government gets wind of it, you will see in explicit details how you can use Dr. Wilhelm Reich's banned invention to make enough free energy to last you a lifetime, taking you off the grid, making you energy independent, and freeing you from the clutches of big electricity. People are already starting to share their amazing stories with us. Kendra Halliday from San Clemente, California says,
"The month before I built my Orgone electric motor, my energy bill was $184.52. That was in February. The very next month, in March, my bill was $47.19. Simply incredible."
And Peter Laughlin of Omaha, Nebraska says,
"The generator has been spinning on its own for 8 hours now. I'm speechless. Every spin is another penny saved on my electric bill. Thank you so much."
Before we give you all the details and show you exactly how you can go about building one of these devices yourself, we need to set the record straight on Dr. Wilhelm Reich once and for all, and explain exactly how he was able to build a device so reviled by the U.S. government and big business alike that they may have killed to keep it from reaching the masses. We know that by sharing these secrets, we're putting ourselves in just as much danger as Dr. Reich did. But after half a century in darkness, the time has come to illuminate the world. The first thing to know is that Wilhelm Reich, 1897 to 1957, always did things a little bit different. And perhaps that's because he grew up in a place in time where the laws of science were being rewritten on an almost daily basis. In 1903, when Wilhelm Reich was 6 years old, the Wright brothers became the first humans ever to fly, accomplishing in just a few minutes what others had called impossible for more than 2,000 years. In 1905, Einstein's theory of special relativity shocked the world by showing that atomic energy could be easily created by humans. In 1907, Nernst's third law of thermodynamics suddenly changed our understanding of particles in motion. In 1911, Onnes discovered superconductivity, making it possible to rapidly transfer energy with little to no resistance. And in 1913, Bohr came out with his first model of the atom. So Wilhelm Reich lived in an age where the impossible was constantly being shown to be possible. And this was especially true when it came to the laws of energy. Now, you should also understand that Dr. Reich was a man of extraordinary intellect. When he was still an undergraduate in college, he was hired by the famous psychoanalyst and neurologist Dr. Sigmund Freud to start treating patients. When he was just 25 years old, he was put in charge of one of the most prestigious medical clinics in all of Europe. In his 30s, he started studying how plants could be used to generate power. And in his 40s, Reich did experiments with Albert Einstein, shocking the world's most famous scientist with a revolutionary device that could generate 100% free energy, run for thousands of hours, and harness the incredible natural forces already present on Earth in order to power homes and cities for the rest of human history. Reich called his device an Orgone energy motor and experimented tirelessly in his laboratory, tweaking, tinkering, and perfecting the machine. This motor was based off one revolutionary observation, that there's an energy force running through the Earth and all living things. And while at first this may sound like something out of a New Age textbook, what he was really observing was the behavior of electromagnetic fields. But because he always approached science a little bit differently. He was able to accidentally discover a strange exception to the laws of electromagnetism, allowing for massive amounts of magnetic energy to be created without the need for a massive power source, using materials that are so basic you could drive into town right now and pick them up for less than $100 and build your own powerful machine in less than 24 hours, even if you're unsure how to use a hammer and a nail. Here's a basic outline of the motor. Essentially, it works by using magnetic forces to create a permanent state of imbalance between a rotor and a stator, continuously concentrating a flow of energy in the same direction as the motor rotates, allowing for sustained, almost perpetual motion. We put almost in parentheses because the laws of thermodynamics say that true perpetual motion is impossible. In fact, that's why you always hear critics of free energy saying it won't work. It violates the laws of physics. But these critics make a huge mistake, because they assume that if a motion can't be perpetual, then it must be short-lasting. To see why they're wrong, simply look at the planets. They're in almost perpetual motion, orbiting the sun, which is highly magnetic, for billions and billions of years. One day they'll stop, but we'll be long gone when that happens. So even if a motion created is not perpetual, it can still be self-generated without an energy source for near eternity. You see, it's all about thinking differently. And by doing this, Reich realized that even if energy generation doesn't last forever, it could still be made to last for a couple thousand years. Dr. Reich first shared his device with Einstein in 1940 and worked tirelessly to improve both its efficiency and output over the next several years. In 1947, he presented his device to a select group of colleagues who were astounded to watch as he powered an electrical motor as if by magic. Now, by this point, Dr. Reich was already a very famous scientist, constantly referenced in the day's leading academic journals and prominently listed as one of America's top men of science. But when his orgone energy motor was finally revealed to a select group of leading scholars, providing an incredibly simple way for every person in America and the world to create their own free energy for the rest of their lives with virtually zero maintenance and freeing them from the tyrannical clutches of the world's largest monopolies, it appeared as though Dr. Wilhelm Reich was about to take his place as one of the most prominent inventors in history. Unfortunately, the sinister titans of the energy monopolies had different ideas, and a few years later, Dr. Wilhelm Reich turned up dead, the product of a systematic and targeted persecution planned by the world's most powerful elite and carried out by the very government that was supposed to protect him. It was an act of suppression reeking of arrogance. They publicly burned the evidence in the streets of New York, as if to warn us that this is what happens when we try to change the status quo, that this is what happens when you try to threaten our bottom line. Because while we all know that building our own perpetual energy generator could save us tens of thousands of dollars over the course of our lives and drastically reduce damage to the environment while ridding the air of many pollutants that may well be causing the increase in cancer we're experiencing, there's little profit in it for the corporations, and losing money, it's not something they're going to readily accept. Not when companies like General Electric bring in $147 billion in revenue each year, or ExxonMobil, who has $453 billion in annual revenue. So you can understand why they may have some small interest in keeping all that blasphemous talk about free energy under wraps. With greed in their eyes, the masters of industry set out on a tactical assault so sophisticated, it would make even a five-star general's mouth drop in awe. Here's the play-by-play breakdown of how they destroyed Dr. Wilhelm Reich. Step 1. Begin smear campaign. Reich had long enjoyed a solid reputation as a leading American scientist. Then suddenly, in 1947, the same year he shares his energy generator, a series of articles appear in Harper's and the New Republic attacking his credibility. They are written by an obscure and virtually unpublished journalist named Mildred Edie Brady. At the end of the articles, she says that Reich must be dealt with. It's unclear how someone with almost no writing credentials could suddenly get identical articles published in two of the nation's largest magazines. Step 2. Raise the false flag. Shortly after Brady's articles are published, a director of the Federal Trade Commission writes to the FDA requesting they investigate Reich. They cite as the reason for the investigation that Reich's energy experiments could affect consumer health and assign agents to start monitoring Reich's activities at all times. which begs two questions. One, why would a commission on trade start investigating a man focused on free energy? Two, did the FTC use the FDA to keep the public from tracing the investigation back to powerful economic interests? Step 3, surveillance and sabotage. In 1948, a recently hired assistant of Dr. Wilhelm Reich suddenly disappears, taking the Orgone Energy Monitor prototype and a large portion of Reich's research funds with him. Reich is frantic. He investigates and discovers that none of the assistant's claims about his past, including his employment, are verifiable. The man is never heard from again. Step 4. Begin censorship. The FDA persuades the U.S. District Attorney of Maine to put an injunction on Reich, stopping him from continuing his work and research. Reich continues working despite the potential legal threats, but in 1954, the courts demand that all of his energy generators, their individual parts, their instruction manuals, and all books mentioning orgone be confiscated. Step 5. Neutralization. On May 7, 1956, Reich is found guilty of trying to send a piece of his energy generator out of state. It's unclear why this is a crime exactly, but it is obvious that suppression efforts are heightening to a near stifling level. He's immediately sentenced to 2 years in prison. While he doesn't know it yet, this might as well be a death sentence. Step 6. Destroy evidence and memories. On June 5, 1956, 2 FDA officials traveled to Dr. Reich's research facility and supervised the destruction of all energy machines. As a man's entire life's work lay in ruins, his son Peter walks over and quietly places an American flag on the shattered generators. 2 months later, the burning in New York happens. All of Reich's works, everything, journals, diaries, notebooks, literature, etc., are incinerated before the public's eyes. Step 7. Tie up the loose ends. November 3, 1957. Just 7 days before a parole hearing in which it is widely speculated Reich will be released, William Reich is found dead in his prison cell. He is fully clothed, except for his shoes. The prison doctor says it was sudden heart failure. There is no autopsy given. Time magazine runs an obituary on Dr. Reich, but the rest of the press stays silent, probably out of fear. And this would be the terrifying, tragic end to the story, with the dream of true, free, self-generated energy being lost forever, with us enslaved to the corporations for all time, continuing to be the small, tiny ants they crush at will, while literally filling their vaults with our money, bitterly paying our electricity bills each month, as we're told that demand is up, so the price has gone up too, and watching helplessly as the air around us fills with smoke and cancer rates increase by 75% in the next 2 decades, as the Center for Disease Research has estimated they will. It should have been the end, but it's not. 2 years ago in Topeka, Kansas, the first and perhaps only surviving blueprints for the Orgone energy motor were discovered in an attic of a man who, on his deathbed, claimed that he was Wilhelm Reich's mystery assistant, the one who had disappeared in the winter of '48. And after a protracted negotiation with this man's estate and a payment to the family that was too much to disclose, although we will say it was more than 6 figures, we were able to finally get our hands on Reich's blueprints and build the legendary motor that the ruling elite thought they had forever destroyed. Now, as soon as the corporations get wind of this presentation, we will undoubtedly have our site taken down. Persecution is a risk we're willing to take, but you do need to pay close attention to this next part, because we only have a very short amount of time to tell you what we know. First, it works beautifully. The computer we're using to write this presentation is being powered by the motor this very moment. So is our office and the homes of our staff. Second, it's easy to put together, shockingly so. All it takes are a few copper wires, a few pieces of wood, and a few other pieces that can be found at your local hardware store. Even if you struggle to screw in a light bulb, you'll be able to make the device. Third, it's cheap. You could be generating your own energy almost perpetually for less than $100. Fourth, it's scalable. Once you have the blueprints, you can quickly and easily create larger and more powerful ones. You can power your house and get off the grid 100%. You can have the energy company start paying you, sending a check in the mail each month. Is it any wonder people are going nuts about this device? Scott Rebick from Redondo Beach, California says,
"Building this device is such a breeze. I'm 64 years old and built it in under an hour with my grandkids. It now keeps on feeding free watts into the grid."
And Aaron Clay, a retired engineer in Henderson, Nevada, tells us,
"As a former engineer, I'll admit I was skeptical. But the moment I looked over the blueprints, I knew this was the real deal. I can't believe such an obvious energy solution has been sitting right in front of me the whole time.
So, here's why you need to try the Orgone Energy Motor today. Quite frankly, there's never been a better time for a technology like this to emerge. With electricity prices going through the roof and peak oil just around the corner, it's only a matter of time before everyone turns to alternative energy sources. But if you think about it, you'll realize alternative energy never really was an alternative. Just try to go solar without spending 5 figures on a solar panel system. It's impossible. And then there's maintenance costs, breakdowns, clouds, bird droppings, and all the stuff you just don't want to be worrying about. The Orgone Energy Motor, on the other hand, is extremely adaptable and will completely change the way you look at energy. It costs less than $108 to build, and you can find all the materials and spare parts at your local electronics shop. It's completely weatherproof, and it really makes no difference if it's raining or if it's too hot outside. And because you can use it during the night, you don't need expensive batteries to store your excess electricity. It's incredibly easy to build. Sure, the technology may have been cutting edge in the 30s, but these days it's definitely not rocket science. You can get your materials that used to cost thousands of dollars for a few bucks. And with our step-by-step instructions, building your own generator is as easy as assembling an IKEA chair. There are no emissions, no fumes, no radiations. In fact, it's probably just as green as solar or wind power systems. And best of all, it generates free electricity day in and day out. So you can slash your bill by 30%, 60%, even 100%. Here's how to get the Orgone Energy Motor blueprints. You need to move fast on this one because we simply don't know for how long this website is going to stay up. The first time people heard about the Orgone Energy Motor, things turned out really bad for the inventor, and we fear it might happen once again. But still, we want to get this into as many hands as possible. Dr. Reich technology has already changed the face of the modern world, and it can do it one more time. People need to hear about this amazing device so they can break free from big energy and stop paying for electricity that should be available to everyone. So here's the deal. The Orgone Energy Motor blueprints are available in electronic format for instant download. You could be reading them just 5 minutes from now, and you can enjoy free energy from your own generator in 3 short days. You'll save hundreds of dollars each month and thousands each year. And there will be no reason to go solar and fork out at least $20,000 on a solar panel system that pays for itself in 8 long years. How much is it worth to you to literally get free electricity for good? So I'm not going to ask you to invest $1,000 for this secret, even though I know it's worth at least that. It won't cost you $500, as Dr. Reich envisioned it, either. The whole reason we're even charging any money for this is that we're forced to fight a lengthy and expensive legal battle with big energy. Yet, the Orgone Energy Motor blueprints won't cost you $500, not even $250, though they would be worth every penny at this price. I'm going to set the price of Orgone Energy Motor at just $69. But the only way to secure your spot in the program is to click the Add to Cart button now. I can't guarantee that I can keep this price for longer, especially since we're giving 60 days of unlimited email support. So don't get mad if you come here a few days and see that the price has gone back up. And really, the price doesn't even matter. That's because you're covered by a no questions asked money back guarantee for 60 full days. Here's how it works. But because you're getting here early, if you act right now, I'll let you have Orgone Energy Motor blueprints, plus the Keep Your House Warm, plus the list of tools and supplies for $49. That's probably less than half of what you're paying each month on electricity, and you can recoup that investment in as little as 30 days. Getting the blueprints for the Orgone Energy Motor is easy. Just click the big, shiny, inviting Add to Cart button that just appeared below, and you'll be taken to our secure order page. It's simple. Get the blueprints today and put them to the test. See how easy it is to make your own electricity with an Orgone Energy Motor. Watch as your power meter slows down the moment you plug your generator in, and see what it's like to slash your electric bill by 50%, 75%, or more
in less than 2 short months. You have 60 days to decide whether this was a good investment or not. And if you're less than thrilled with how much you're saving on electricity, just write us a short email at the address you'll find in the members area. We'll give you an immediate refund, even if it's the 23rd hour of the 59th day. Not a day goes by that we don't receive another threat letter in our inbox. Big Energy is desperately trying to shut us down, and we don't know for how long we can keep this website going. They're so afraid they're losing you as a customer that they're pulling every trick in the book to make sure this technology never makes it into your hands. Oregon Energy Motor will help you save hundreds of dollars each month. You won't need expensive generators. And it's so portable, you can even take it with you on your trips. Instead of paying thousands of dollars on expensive generators, you can pocket the savings and spend it on more important things. And just imagine how your life will be just 2 months after making the Oregon Energy Motor. Picture this. You're coming home from work, and you notice there's a fresh envelope in the mail. It's a bill from the electric company. But as you rip it open, you notice there's something different. This time, the amount is negative. This time, the electric company is actually forced to pay you for electricity, and you're getting small checks of $20, $30, or more every month, just from keeping the Oregon Energy Motor on. And month after month, you get the same relaxed feeling that comes with not owing anyone a red cent. You're finally free and independent, no longer trapped inside a legal monopoly that's holding you at gunpoint. The Oregon Energy Motor is about something bigger and more important than money. It's about regaining your freedom and making a stand. Right now, you're at a crossroads that's going to affect not just your bank account, but your happiness, your security, and the safety of your family for years to come. And the way I see it, 3 paths lie ahead of you. The first thing is to do like most people. Take no action, do nothing, and hope that nothing bad will happen. Let this video end, leave the site behind, and keep feeling like you're going to have a heart attack every time you open up your electric bill. Keep acting like a power Nazi around the house, constantly worrying about every last watt of power. Keep sweating your way through the summer and freezing your way through the winters, all because you want to save a few bucks. Keep contributing to the problem, gobbling up our natural resources and keeping us addicted to foreign sources of power. Of course, there's a second path, and that is to take what you've learned today and try to figure out your own system for creating real power for your home. Honestly, you can try this, but would you rather reinvent the wheel every time you leave the house? Or would you rather just climb into your car and get where you're going? It took our team a lot of time, effort, energy, and work to put together Oregon Energy Motor, to test it, and to make sure that even non-technical folks like my brother could follow it and use it. And it's way too easy to mess this up and spend a lot of money while you're experimenting. Buy the wrong kind of panel or forget a particular part, and you'll end up with a really fancy lawn ornament that does not generate a single watt. And if you really want to be self-sufficient and not at the mercy of big electric companies, then you should seriously consider path number 3. Let me take all the risk for you. Do what over 102,000 folks have already done.
Everything in here has been running for hours. Lights, tools, power, belief, and I haven't paid a dime. I'm 64, built it in under an hour with my grandkids. Now it keeps powering our whole house with free watts. Couldn't be easier. Everything's been running nonstop down here and upstairs. No flickers, no bills. I still can't believe it.
Grab your copy of the Oregon Energy Motor. See how fun it is to start generating power for you and your family in shockingly little time. And with our generous 60-day guarantee, there's really no way you can lose. Just click the yellow Add to Cart button that you see below. You'll be brought right to our secure order page and will be able to grab your copy of the Oregon Energy Motor, all the bonuses at a whopping discount right away. So, you need to act fast if you don't want to miss out on the opportunity of a lifetime. We don't know if or when Big Energy will shut us down. It could happen in a month or it could happen tomorrow. Join the 102,000 thrilled families who have realized that there is a better, simpler, and a more cost-effective way to power their homes. The bottom line is, You need to get in fast while you can to get your hands on this incredible technology. Frequently asked questions. There are some questions that I keep receiving from people, and I'll try to answer a few here. 1. If Orgone energy motor works so well, why aren't more people using it? There are more than 102,000 happy families already using Orgone energy motor, but every serious prepper that uses it won't brag about it. For some, it's the fear factor. Most people think this is too complex to build. The fact is, Orgone energy motor is easy when you have the proper blueprint. 2. How hard will this be to make? This is so simple and easy to build, you'll kick yourself for not taking up Orgone energy motor earlier. The whole thing takes 2 hours, doesn't require strength and electric school, that's all, and really there's no excuse for not giving it a try. In fact, if you don't want to lift a finger, you can still do this. Just pay someone $50 to watch the short video and to put together the Orgone energy motor for you. It's more fun than Legos. And many of our clients are saying that their children love it. 3. How long will this take? It will take you a little over 30 minutes to watch the video, and that's it. Building the Orgone energy motor takes under 2 hours if you're slow, a lot less if someone's helping you. 4. How much do the parts cost? To build a small-scale Orgone energy motor, you'll need about $55 worth of parts that you can get from any electronics store. If you want to scale it up and get more electricity, you'll need more expensive parts, but you'll find that you can easily power up an entire home with under $110 in total costs. 5. I'm ready. How do I get started? Simply click on the Buy Now button you see below. You'll then be taken to my 100% secure checkout page where you'll enter your order information. So, go ahead and seize your opportunity now by clicking the orange Add to Cart button below.